Hi, my name's Craig Campbell. I'm from CC Leisure Solutions. I'm going to start doing some vlogs. Being a dyslexic person, sometimes I struggle to write things and get the message across in the correct way. So I'm going to start doing some vlogging. My first vlog is something, I'm going to start off with a presentation that I did about 10 to 15 years ago. It was called 10 Mistakes Made During Tough Times and How I Still Keep Seeing the Same Mistake Happen. Now, I broke this into a couple of sections. I broke it into retention, I broke it into sales, I broke it into finance and stroke admin, and also operations. For this first vlog, what I'm going to be talking about is the retention aspects of this. So, let's get started. Number one, I keep going to gyms. After my very first job, I worked for McDonald's. In McDonald's, they have a Mac way. So no matter what they want you to do, they want you to do it the Mac way. At the time, I didn't realise this was important, but I've now realised since that it's probably helped me in my sort of working life because I now know what good looks like. I quickly, when I left McDonald's and I moved into leisure, I was quickly surprised. Yes, I had sports science, I had an A-level in sports studies at PE at GCSE. So I understand how to do exercise in general, but when I went to work for Devere, instantly what they basically did was they assumed everything I'd done in the past in university was good enough. They didn't show me the Devere way or how to use their particular kit. Well, this sort of caught me out a little bit. I went up to the first few customers, I went up to try to correct them. They were doing stuff what I thought was blatantly wrong. And they said that such and such, let's say Mike for instance, Mike had shown me this way, and it was like, oh, okay. I went to the next person, somebody else had shown them a different way, and I quickly realised there wasn't a way. I spoke to some of the other staff, and this had happened to a lot of them. So one of the things that I brought into organisations, and I still don't see enough of, is the document that teaches the fitness staff how to correct people, what people do wrong and what to look for. And once you found that error, how would you correct it? This obviously is a document, I would call this 200 Reasons to Interact. This is the one where I can now walk into any gym, I can see my fitness instructors, I can say 3 people are doing something wrong, who is it? Can you please go and correct them? Now, in this day and age, we're constantly talking about they need to interact and they need to help people, but we've got to teach them how to interact. We can't assume the MVQ level 2, 3, even 4 will get them to this level. Normally on MVQ level 2 and MVQ level 3, they may have had their best friend who they wrote a program on, and that's how they passed the particular exam for that one. So the first mistake I see is not training people on how to use the equipment and showing people what people do wrong. You walk into a gym, you see someone leaning on it, holding onto the handles and leaning backwards, walking up a hill. Have you ever tried doing that in real life? You end up on the floor, the bottom of the hill. It doesn't work. When you see people doing a step and they're doing this, that's not a step. These are all the different reasons why we should be going over and speaking to people. So that's number one. Number two, if you owned a restaurant, would you monitor the food? All good restaurants do. There's a reason behind that. It's because they want to make sure the quality of what's going out is good. I keep going to organisations and there's no one who checks the programmes that people write. So we know not everyone has an induction and not everyone follows a programme, which to me is criminal. But secondly, when they do write programmes, no one checks if they're any good. I always say, when I start to check programmes, what I find is that we get what's called generic or copy and paste programs. So it'll be bike for warm up, treadmill for main. That's why you can never get on the treadmill because it's in every program. Lat pull down, chest press, abs, biceps, triceps, legs, depending on what their need is. It's not until you start checking programs that you find out whether these things are correct or not. So I remember one day I had a lad, he wrote 2 programs a day before, very, very similar programs. One of them was for a 74-year-old retired lady, Now, to me, the 74-year-old lady, I asked him what her needs were, and she said, well, she does a bit of gardening, she does a bit of shopping. So maybe she needs shoulder shrugs, yeah, so that can build up the strength for when she's carrying the shopping bag. Maybe she needs a bent over row for when she's pulling out weeds, etc. So it's about adapting to the needs. And I started to question this and ask him, because the programme that she'd been given was virtually the same as the 22-year-old lad that had come in. Obviously different levels that they were going to be working at, but it was pretty much the same programme. And to me, if you check the quality of the food, if you check the quality of the programmes, you'll quickly find that we can make more people stay and more people get results. Question 3, or mistake number 3. We don't always take measures at the beginning. Now, for me, if you're going to take people on a journey, and we hear this all the time, the member's journey, I'm still going to sites who say they haven't got one, but the reality is they have, because it's what happens to the customers. But if you're going to take someone in, we've got to measure any journey. I need to know where I am now and where I want to go to. Even if I want to have sat nav and I want to get to a certain place, I need to know where I am now and where I'm going to get to. If I want to plan on a map how far somewhere is and how to get there the quickest and best way, where am I now, where am I going to? So this is a big thing for me. Now, let's say, for instance, people can measure weight. Yeah, okay, so let's have a look at Weight Watchers and Slimming World. When someone hits a goal in Weight Watchers and Slimming World, because they took a measure in the first place, they can tell people whether they've achieved or whether they're heading in the right direction. And funnily enough, you always see this, don't you, when people get their awards on Facebook. Look at me, lost 2 stone, amazing. And then you get all the friends coming on going, hey babe, where'd you do that? Been loving it, I might try that myself. Okay, so this is all really good things, is they do a measure in the first place, and then when someone achieves something, they award them. Well, we don't measure, and we very, very rarely award people. You know, how many people hit their goal last January? How many awards did you give? Now, the measures that we take, these can be various different things. Can we do weight? We know that can come and bite us on the bum a little tiny bit, because some people may actually put more muscle on and therefore the weight might not change, but the body will, and they might see that as not hitting their goal. That'll be because we haven't educated them properly, which is fine. I've been to places where they use heart rate. Now, if I could lower your resting heart rate by 10 beats per minute, over the next 10 years, I'm likely to save you 52.5 million beats. Now, the average person does round about, with a resting heart rate of 70, does round about 32 million beats per year. So this is how we extend people's lives. This is what we do. And that's only one person. You go to a site that has 6,000 members or 5,000 members across the council or the trust, then you may quickly find that there's a hell of a lot of information we can get out there. We're talking billions and billions and billions of heart rates that we've saved. Imagine that our members last year in January lost 400 stone. This year we're aiming for 450. Who's in? That's got to be a better message than New Year, New You, or Step into Spring, or Summer Beach Body, or whatever it is that we're still regurgitating over the years. So for me, we have to start taking measures. I went into another site. This was a really clever one. They used a piece of string. So they came in, a piece of string went round your waist and it was hung up on the wall. The next time you had a reassessment, the string was on the wall, we took it off. If you'd lost weight, there was another piece of tape moved round it. All the pieces of rope across the wall, and all you could see was the movement that people had made. And it looked absolutely breathtaking, and it could prove that those people got results. So, what I've talked about today is basically the first 3 of the top 10 mistakes that I've been seeing for years. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you go onto my website, which is ccleisuresolutions.com, you will be able to find all the information that you need about what I do and how I help organisations. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you have any comments or any ideas of different vlogs that you'd like me to do, then please put them in the comments section, and I'm happy to take these on board and do these maybe going forward. Thanks very much for your time. Speak to you soon. Bye now.